You are now listening to The Box Out with Kahlil Thomas and Jason Kahlil on the One Podcast Network. Let's get it.
What the hell just happened? What just happened? Hold on. Whoa! This is The Box Out. Game 4 post-game show. Oh my God. Kahlil Thomas joining me in a few minutes with Jason Kahlil, who's getting water at his house because he's all over the goddamn place too. Where the hell do I start this game? The Knicks win 107-106, the largest comeback in NBA Finals history, down by 29 points. And I don't even know where to go here. I don't even know how to get started. I don't know what to say. I don't even know. I walked my dog. I think the tail end of the second quarter. And we went for a long walk, me and my dog Murray, in the dark, because I was just done. I was out. I was over it. Didn't give a shit. Came back, was 29 points, and I was like, this game is over. Came down here to the studio / office / man cave bar. And this game was over. And I was on the phone with a buddy of mine, and I'm like, I might turn this off. And in my head, it worked for Cleveland, because when Cleveland was up by 22 on us, I went to sleep. Couldn't sleep, so I knew, I'm like, let me check the score of the game. Woke up like, oh shit, ran back downstairs, saw what was the greatest comeback in my lifetime. So I'm like, do I need to do that again? Do I need to disappear? No need. Let's start from the beginning. The Spurs were lights out in this game, the first 2 quarters of this game. I've not seen anything like it. They set an NBA Finals record, 14 threes in the first half. The Knicks defense was all over the place. Right? They were collapsing on Wemby, because whenever Wemby touched the ball, they collapsed. Whenever someone drove to the lane, they collapsed. Whenever the pick and rolls were killing them, because no one was switching on the pick and rolls. So guys are being left wide open. Harper was open. Castle was open. Champagny was open. So it wasn't the fact, the defense sucked, the Knicks, but they were not rotating and switching off at all in that first quarter. Hence, you saw so many open threes from San Antonio, which got you 14 threes in the first half of NBA Finals record. So 41-22 at the end of the first. They scored 35 in the second. They were at 76 at halftime. And this is where I was like, we're done here. We're done. I'm done. Whatever. But even as the Knicks kind of started chipping away at the lead, they weren't getting stops defensively. So that became a problem for me. So I'm like, now you're scoring, but now you're going basket for basket with San Antonio, which wasn't working either. So in that third quarter, they outscored San Antonio by 12, but it still didn't seem like they were making a dent. They were making a dent, but still didn't seem like a big enough dent to kind of like give fans that hope of like, they could pull this shit off. It's possible. We get to the fourth quarter. The 3 giveth and the 3 taketh away. San Antonio shot so well in the first half, and in my head, and always, you always think about this with like the Boston Celtics, especially I think Boston more so, because they really live and die by the 3 in the way they play. You live by the 3 and you're good, but you can also die by the 3 as well. And that's what San Antonio for those 3. So that first quarter, when they were untouchable and hitting every shot they put up and knocking everything down, I think those guys assumed that would continue. And, every hot streak, that there's going to be a count of a cold streak. And you saw it in that tail end of the third quarter, going to the fourth quarter. They could forget a three. They couldn't hit a shot. I know Wemby hit a couple shots, Castle a couple shots. De'Aaron Fox in this game, more than this whole playoff run, looked like Sacramento King De'Aaron Fox, which was scary for a while. Because I was like, oh, crap, he looks like Sacramento Mike Brown when he coached in Sacramento. But the Knicks kept chipping away. Shout out to Jose Alvarado. Shout out to Jalen Brunson. Shout out to OG again. OG Anunoby, big game for him as well. But what happened was the Knicks really tightened up the defense. And the way they were playing defense in that second half, or probably that last half of the third into the fourth, was not what they did in the first half. So as a fan, I'm looking like, why didn't we do this before? Why in the second half was everybody switching off? And their rotations were good. And they were going around the picks, going under picks, not going over the everything they should have did in the first half, they didn't do. They did it all in the second half. And it started working. And then San Antonio settled. The Knicks made a basket. San Antonio settled. The Knicks made a basket. San Antonio settled. Knicks hit a three. So that 29-point lead, it was 20-point lead at the end of the third quarter, going into the fourth quarter, and it kept chipping and kept chipping and kept chipping and kept chipping. Until we get to the lead, I think there's 9. When San Antonio led by 9, that's when I was like, oh shit, this is the game now. This is the game. And then I'm like, this could happen. And then there was a shot by Castle. Push it up. I think it was free throws by Castle. Push it back to 11 because they were in the bonus early again. They were in the bonus 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter again because the Knicks, I'm not going to talk about the refs tonight. I told myself I'm not going to do that in the air tonight. Lead back down to 9. Lead back down to 7. San Antonio settles again. Lead down to 5. So you saw this happening, and you're just like, there's no way they're going to come back and win this game. And I was just like, I still doubted whether a comeback of this magnitude can actually happen. We had our comeback against Cleveland, right? There's no way this happening again. And then we get inside 5 minutes. And at this point, it was a 7-point game, 4 minutes to go. And I think Tim Legler said it on the telecast. Might be him or Richard Jefferson. I don't know. Richard Jefferson talks a lot, and he says a lot of dumb shit. So I don't know if it was Tim Legler making sense or Richard Jefferson being, oh, hey, Bruce. What's up, buddy? What's going on, bro? I think they said being inside 5 minutes, being down by 7 is a good thing for the Knicks. Because I was like, oh, it's gotta be like 5 or less. It's gotta be 5 or less. And someone said, once again, I don't remember who said it. Someone said, it's fine. It's fine. They'll be fine. Listen, and Alvarado ate his ass off, hit a big 3 in that stretch. Brunson, that last half of third quarter into fourth quarter, he found his footing. Cat hit a big shot, even though, once again, Cat did not touch the ball as much as he should have. But I'm not gonna belabor that point because we won. And then we started seeing the youth of San Antonio because you definitely saw a lot of doubt. You definitely saw doubt creep into their heads, especially when we hit the under 5 section of the game. And they could hit nothing. They were getting fouls, and they were going to the foul line because we were in the bonus so early. But besides those free throws they were shooting, and Wemby missed a couple as well, which definitely helped out, it just seemed like the offense got stagnant. And like I said before, the 3 was the problem. They thought they could hit those threes. They had 14 in the first half. They thought, okay, we can hit 14 in the second half. And once again, you can't do that. The Knicks defense definitely tightened up, which only pissed me off more because I'm like, why didn't you do that before? So we get down to in the fourth quarter, inside 4 minutes, and that's when the fun started. And I'm scrolling down because I have to see a lot of the shit because it's still kind of a blur of what the hell just happened. Alvarado hit a 3. Brunson hits a 3. I'm looking around right now. I'm going back in my head. This is all like refreshing right now. I feel like Mitch Johnson did his best to calm that team down. And I know during the timeout, Vassell actually called, instead of Wemby rounding the team up and getting them hyped up, Vassell stepped in and did that. But I don't think it was enough. And I think the youth kind of kicked in as I bring in Jason Kortner. What's up, Jay?
Well, I don't know what I just saw. All I know is
look.
I definitely need a drink. I couldn't even drink. I had to get water. because I don't know what I will say this. The Spurs are very young, very cocky. They thought they had this game in the bag in the first quarter. And I don't know how a team responds down 3-1 now, knowing how they lost these 3 games individually. So I don't know how the Spurs rattle and come back. All I know is the Larry O'Brien trophy will be in San Antonio on Friday.
Shh.
Hey, I said 5. I said 5 before the series start. I told you Wemby is going to be in Jersey on Tuesday watching Friends, wondering what the fuck just happened.
Listen, I'm shocked at what happened, only because the Knicks looked so bad in the first half. They looked atrocious in that first half.
It was a lot. It felt like it was the Knicks looked bad. The refs were just egregious.
Again,
the Spurs knocked down every shot they had in the first. They shot their load in the first half because they couldn't buy a bucket in the third quarter. But a lot was going against the Knicks, and somehow we're up 3-1.
So after making 14 threes, I want to say they're like 14 of 23 or 24 in the first half.
Definitely an NBA record.
Yeah, NBA record. 17 of 43 to end the game. They hit 3 trays in the second half. So they go from 14 to 3. And I said it when the show started, you live by the 3, you die by the 3.
Yep.
And I use Boston as the perfect comparison because Boston's whole game is 3-point shooting. I felt like San Antonio hit those 14 in the first half and just assumed that it would roll on and it would hit them no matter what. But also, and we have to be negative on this one, that first half, I've not seen the Knicks play defense that badly since, the Isaiah Thomas, Eddie Curry days. Guys wide open, guys not switching on pick and rolls, guys not going around picks, not going under. It was everything bad that you could have done defensively. The Knicks did in that first half.
Yeah, and again, the kudos to them for fighting through. But again, the Spurs settle for their shots. Wemby with the whole point in the head, thinking he's in their head, and the way they couldn't buy a bucket, and even towards the end, like even hustling back to make sure Fox didn't get that layup, which I don't know why he didn't try to dunk it with like 10 seconds left. But hey, kudos to the guys for fighting back. But I would say this about San Antonio. I think, they have no room for error. So now I feel like all the pressure's on them for Friday.
Oh yeah.
Like all the
I feel like you're
up the season, but now it's like, hey, this could have been 2-2 coming back home.
You were up by 29 points. You had the Knicks beat.
Game, not a regular playoff game, but the NBA Finals.
It wasn't a round one. It was the NBA Finals, 29 points. You had the Garden silence. It was not a peep in that arena. And I'll give it to the fans as well. I think the fans definitely kind of lifted them up a little bit because anytime they hit a shot, okay, leads 27, crowd, okay, good. Leads 25, crowd got up. So I definitely give this to the crowd. I think the crowd kind of kept them in it because you kind of saw when it was like lead was 22, 23, 24 points.
I'm never going to say a bad word about Taylor Swift ever again. I wish her, I think she's getting married in the Garden on Friday. I wish her the best. She was so engaged to see her and a lot of celebrities engage, lifting up the spirits of the Knicks. It was a beautiful thing to watch.
You know what's funny? And I know Bruce said it here. If the I Love Inflation guy was there Monday, he could have celebrated tonight. Trump was there Monday. We lost. Taylor Swift there tonight. We win.
I mean,
think about that shit.
I mean, we said that. Not even that. Dolan almost screwed before the game. Dolan told him and the mayor beefing. I'm like, yo, damn it, Dolan, get out the way. Let us.
Well, let's talk about that for a second because I know there was a huge brawl on Monday night. I think in Bryant Park.
I want to hear your thoughts on this. Which I'm glad I didn't go because my wife thought I went there because I work right over there. And she thought I was like, I'm not going to no watch parties until the trophy's in sight.
There's a big brawl Monday night, and I think that not the same security protocols they had on Monday, but I think more like a block radius. They were kind of like
block radius, yeah.
And apparently, the Knicks asked the city to have a watch party in 33rd Street, the Plaza. 999 people. That was the count.
That was way too little.
Mamdani said 999 people have to be there. That's no more, no less. So he was still kind of allowing it. Dolan got pissy, said no thing, went on the Craig Carton show at FAN in New York, sat there and just talked shit for God knows how long. And Carton just, Carton's a jock sniffer, didn't say anything and asked a question or anything like that. So he tried to blame the mayor. And the mayor's like, I said you can have the party. You just can't have 16,000 people outside on 33rd Street. Like, that makes sense. So that whole thing started. But honestly, the brawl on Monday, you just had a couple, you had a couple dudes that just start some shit.
I will say this, though. As much as I've done the brawl, when I saw the videos of the brawl, I was like, yeah, those are guys looking to start shit. They were never getting in the garden. They were priced out from the beginning. But also, I have a theory, and I'm probably minority of this theory. Is those guys in the Spurs jersey, except for the one who got a bloody nose, he clearly looked like he was minding his business, trying to get to where he needed to go. Yeah, the other kids, the older gentlemen, and the other kids with the Spurs jersey, I kind of felt like they saw what happened with Indiana last year, where old boy got the trash thrown on him, and Indiana sending him to game 4 or whatever out there, all expenses paid. I just think some of them were looking for clout a little bit, because I feel like it's been a mob scene for the last 2 years in the playoffs. Why are you wearing those jerseys? Sometimes you gotta be self-aware. That's all.
I mean, you shouldn't have to be, because you're repping your team,
right?
And you assume that not every season like Indiana you're gonna be welcoming or OKC,
right?
But you have to assume that there's gonna be a level of respect. It is New York still. I'm not gonna shit on New York, but there are some folks. There's some hoods that are going to try to start with you. And that's
not to mention the city was kind of depleted with enforcements because everybody was at the Garden for Trump.
Well, once again, let's blame him for everything on Monday night. I blame him for the entire game on Monday night. And my wife, because I watched the game with her, which is funny because I watched the first half with her tonight and we split up. And we come back to win. So I'm saying, and she can't hear me right now, I'm just saying, next game, I'm watching alone. That's 1.5 games that I need to blame somebody. And easy target, it lives upstairs in my house. So I'm going to put that out there right now. I'm just saying. I know she's sleeping right now. I ain't going to say this. I'll say this to her in the morning, but you know this is your fault, right? So
I'm thinking about the Cleveland comeback. We thought that was a huge deal. That this made it look so much. This is great comeback, great miracle on 33rd Street.
So real quick, I want to go through some of the comments in the chat. OG best Knick of the night by far.
He's the new MVP.
I think that's the thing. I think now it shifted from Cat those first 2 games. I think OG becomes the favorite to win the Finals MVP. If we win, I think OG becomes that favorite automatically to become the MVP of the Finals. Not Brunson. Brunson had a big game tonight, but I think OG becomes like, okay, I think I might have to go to him.
Listen, I don't know if people believe in miracles, God, Buddha, whatever. I just think back to that night when we lost the Zion sweepstakes and we had to settle for RJ. RJ was a decent pro for us. He was decent, but he became OG for us. We got rid of him for OG, and now look where we're at. And now we'll look where the Nets are at.
Fox shot the ball going for that shot doing Fox. So they have Harrison Barnes too.
It's not just on Fox. It's the whole team.
Hold on. Bruce said it here. I got to find the comment. Spurs stopped playing because they thought they had it. And that's what happened. I think midway through the third quarter, I really do think the Spurs thought this game is over and they kind of started taking it easy and Bruce said it here, got 3-point happy and called Mitch Johnson El DeBarge, which I'm like, damn, that's a good comparison. He does, right?
I will say this about the Spurs. Don't you feel like they need a new veteran presence in that locker room? Like, I don't know what happened. He has one job, and he's not doing that job. He's not doing that job.
Harrison Barnes is that vet. Harrison Barnes is supposed to be that guy that kind of he doesn't play, right? Think if Harrison Barnes has Herb Williams with a ring. He's supposed to be that guy.
I think he got that ring young too. He got like rookie or second year.
Yeah.
And then they got rid of him for KD.
So I'm just like, okay. So real quick, go through the stats. OD 33 points, Brunson 36 points, 12 of 25 shooting, so still under 50%, not great. 13 from 2 points from Mitch Robinson, 5 rebounds. I had this conversation with a buddy of mine during the third quarter, before the third quarter. What do they do with Mitchell Robinson? Because I think he contributes. But I think what Wemby can do now, what Wemby does now, what the center position does now, even win or lose, does Mitch come back, or do we go, okay?
He's not coming back.
We might have to, for the money he's gonna want, he can't come back. But do we need to get a center that kind of is that evolution of what the center position is? We have Cat. Cat's gonna be your starter. But off the bench, do we have someone like, and this guy doesn't exist, like a Bobby Portis? 6'10", 6'11",
Shit,
who can step out, he can shoot, but he can also bang down low and has the size. Because I feel like in the grand scheme of you can't put him on the floor because he can't shoot foul shots. I think that's my biggest issue.
I feel like you're right. We definitely got to find someone, because I definitely think that Mitch is not coming back on the money that he's probably going to demand, even though he's very limited offensively. So he's going to have to be in a team kind of like the Spurs, where you surround him with perimeter scoring, and he's just, camped in the paint. But I think this is where they have draft capital this year. They might try to maneuver and try to get themselves a decent 6-man center.
So you look at someone like Isaiah Hartenstein that we had in the past.
You're going to need something like that, but a little bit more power.
A little more polish, a little more power, preferably. Someone a little bit stronger than Hartenstein. But I do feel like you need someone that can match up to the generation center of what the center position is. What Mitch does is great, and I love what he does because he contributes, rebounding, block shots. He plays tight defense, and we need that. But I feel like for what Wemby can do, for what Chet Holmgren can do, probably not a good example, but I'm just kind of going with the centers in the league right now. What Chet can do, what so many of the other centers can do in the league, you almost need to find a center that is not just a black hole offensively, and that is not a target to foul if you're in the bonus. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. Which is also crazy how during the comeback, how the Spurs actually went that way to hack a Mitch, even though they were up by so much, was a little egregious. But
that was some bullshit. You're up by 25 and you hack a Mitch. That was a karma. This is karma for Mitch Johnson thinking he's smarter than everybody else. Bruce said in chat, Mike Brown coached his ass off in that second half. In the master class of having Alvarado in the game and playing those tight minutes, knowing that, you know what, Bridges ain't having it. Let's sit Bridges down, put Alvarado in the spot. You have 2 ball handling guards to take the pressure off of Brunson, just to hold the ball. I would not think that would work. And Mike was like, I'm gonna leave him in there and just let it ride.
Yeah.
Especially with 5, and he had 5 fouls the last 2.5 minutes. So that was even more of a really ballsy move to do, to bring him in there. He played 16 minutes, and those are 16 of the, I would say 13 or 16 were the biggest 13 minutes of the game.
Listen, he had all the right buttons. He's coaching his ass off. Considering, I'm pretty sure the guy he's going against has pop in his ear and it's still not working. So I'm curious to know what is the Spurs going to do differently in Game 5, and what are the Knicks going to do? The Knicks, I don't think the Knicks are going to come out slow in Game 5. I think they understand what's at stake here. I kind of feel like this is Atlanta Game 4. Was it Game 4? Game 5. Game 4.
Game 4, yeah.
I feel like this is Atlanta Game 4, Philly Game 4, and Cleveland Game 4. I feel like they know what's at stakes. So I don't think they're going to start off slow. And that kind of like derailed them during this whole series, but somehow they were able to withstand it and got 3 wins.
And I honestly don't think the Spurs think they did anything wrong. I think they're going to come out and play the exact same way.
They're a better team.
I think they'll come out, put up threes, think they're going to hit 14 to start the game, and I do think the Knicks need to come out. And I think you saw a little bit in the first half. I think Cat getting those 2 quick fouls, especially that the bullshit arm lock, that was ridiculous.
I think the officiating is going to be a lot tighter in Game 5 both ways, because I feel like it's been so bad these last couple of games. Well, actually, I can't even say the last half of this game wasn't that bad, but
no, and you really can't even blame them because the Knicks were at the foul line a lot tonight, so they were calling a lot tonight. So I can't put it all on the refs, but I know Cat's first foul was kind of like ticky tack, and the second foul that they went unchallenged when Wemby's arm was locked. Wemby could have got his arm out, but Wemby just sat there and acted and whatever. My thing now becomes Wemby's gonna be pissed off Game 5. Wemby now has a flagrant 2 and a flagrant 1. He should have had a flagrant 1 yesterday in the off day. They should have upgraded the Brunson play.
He sent a goon in Game 4 Game 5 and just a little nudge.
Well, here's my thing. When you saw Ariel Akpudi come in, how bad do you think it was going to get? Because I saw Ariel like, shit.
Listen, I thought this game was over at halftime. I was ready to get my theses going, blaming Dolan for nuking the week. But that was a great third quarter.
For the Spurs, 18 for Vassell, 24 and 13 for Wemby. Wemby disappeared in that tail end of third quarter and fourth quarter. I think he missed 9 of his last 11 shots. 13 for Castle. 6 of 16 for Fox. So Fox had 18 points, had a couple big shots, but he shot 6 of 16. Dylan Harper, 8 of 12. Champagne didn't shoot well. Fox didn't shoot well. Castle only took 7 shots. He was in foul trouble a lot of the game. I think they don't change anything. I think they're like, we're going to run the ball through Wemby and just hope and pray that they can bring it back to New York.
Listen, the karma gods are with us. We saw what happened in 99. Knicks lost in 5 at the Garden. I think we return the favor on Saturday night. How fitting that the game is on Saturday, because if it's during the week, nobody's going to work the next day. But Saturday, I think the series is over.
I'm not saying that. I'm not. One game at a time. We're 1-0. We'll be 0-0 tomorrow. I'll celebrate tonight. I'll celebrate a little bit tomorrow. I can't go there yet. I can't go there yet. I'm still cautiously optimistic on game 5.
Percentage wise, I'm probably at like 2%. Do you think there'll be a game 7?
Oh, I'm right where you at for game 7. I think there will be a game 6. I think they win it on their home floor.
All right, we'll see.
I think the Spurs come out and not they'll win by like 5 or 6 on Saturday, and then they'll come back to the Garden and win it at the Garden, which would kill me.
Win it there, win in San Antonio.
Just get it over with. Just get it over with.
Styles will be in the building.
Styles P says they need Robinson not to catch that flight to San Antonio. My father, I'm an old school guy. You don't leave him home. He's one of the reasons they're in the finals. I agree. Listen, Robinson has contributed to this, but I do feel like for the future, is Robinson worth $20 million a year? And that's what the going rate's going to be. Isaiah Hartenstein has a team option with OKC for 28.5 next year.
Which is why he's not a Knick.
I think you cannot play Mitchell Robinson $20 million to play 17 minutes. That's malpractice.
He was a second-round pick, right?
Yeah.
Listen, man, this is why we got them. This is why you got to build through the draft. We'll have to get the next replacement. That's all.
If the Knicks lost Josh Hart, let's talk about that shit. Why did he dunk the goddamn ball?
I don't know. The
lead should have been 3. He's in between. I'm like, okay, dunk it. He just kind of finger rolls it. I'm like, what is happening? What are you doing?
That was yeah. But we don't gotta worry about that. We don't gotta worry about that.
Listen. As a journalist, as an analyst, we have to look at everything. I know in the chat they're like, "You're overanalyzing." That's my job.
Why we can't look at how they did not box out OG when he inbounded the ball? They just left him in the corner, and he just ran, which
was great. Which was great because Wemby was guarding Brunson, so OG got a running start from the baseline.
Brunson was going to take a quick shot. I knew that was going to be the play, especially with Wemby out So that means there was nobody around. Because again, I feel like San Antonio is a small team outside of Wemby, and there was nobody in the paint that was like looking for the ball.
No, everybody's looking up.
Everybody's looking up
or they were assuming that Wemby would drop off. Like either before Brunson took the shot or right after, they thought Wemby would just go away to the lane and grab the rebound. I think Wemby was slow getting into the paint. And I think that was the big issue.
Win or lose, I think Game 5 they will be more aggressive and go at Wemby.
I think you have to. I think you have to. First, you gotta get him frustrated because you already see. He's gonna be pissed off and dirty. He's turning dirty. Like when the series started,
he's looking like a young Ric Flair out there.
When if he starts strutting on Saturday, I'm gonna lose my shit. You see it, and I think going into the series, I didn't feel anything for Wemby. I was like, he's a good player. He's a nice guy. I think now
I can't stand him.
No, I think
he's a French Bill Lambert to me right now.
David Jacoby from The Ringer was on Zach Lowe's show. He's like, I fucking hate Victor Wembanyama now. I fucking hate him. I'm like, yeah, I'm there too. I'm over there too. He's a piece of shit.
He surpassed. I mean, he surpassed Trae Young in my book right now.
Who was the guy that punched Rudy Tomjanovich? What was his name? In the 70s. That's Wembanyama. Wembanyama's that guy. Wembanyama's he threw an elbow at Cat tonight. Luckily, he called a flagrant on that one because I was hoping to like basic foul because I was waiting for that one. So, but big win, biggest comeback in NBA Finals history. I'm spent. I'm probably not going to sleep tonight. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be exhausted for work tomorrow.
Same here.
I'm hyped. Styles P's wife called Wemby a dirty Gumby.
Oh, I like that one.
I like that one. I'll put that on Twitter. Thanks, bro. Tell your wife I'm taking that. We will be back on Saturday after Game 5, immediately following. Hopefully, it's a happy recap. I will go out and I will finally buy that bottle of champagne. I will have it ready. I'll have it ready on ice, just in case.
Oh yeah, you know what? I got some champagne. I got to move it to the fridge.
Yeah, I can't get ready on Saturday. It's just Friday. Saturday. We're back on Saturday.
It was Friday too, but it's Saturday.
Well, because I wasted 2 days because they're traveling or whatever the hell.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to switch that in. There we go. Saturday. We're back on Saturday after Game 5. Hopefully the Knicks close it out, but we'll be here with you after Game 5. It might be a happy recap. It might be, holy shit, we're going back to New York on Tuesday and do the shit all over again.
And if we do the show on Saturday and you hear all kind of commotion in the background, that might be Manhattan burning down. But we'll still do the show.
So me and Jason be out there with our phones with the little furry mics, just like, they're burning down Sbarro. It's pandemonium here in Midtown. But I will say, I'm saving a day off for the hopeful. I'm still sketchy. Hopefully, a parade.
Hopefully, it's Tuesday.
And then me and Jason will meet up, do some shit, put it on the YouTube.
Yep.
And chill. But we're back Saturday after Game 5. Big win. Jay, get some rest.
One more to go.
For Jason, I'm Kahlil. We got one more game to go, baby. Let's take it home. We'll see you on Saturday night after Game 5. For Jason, I'm Kahlil. Peace. Hey.
This has been The Box Out with Kahlil Thomas and Jason Kortner. Subscribe now for the best tri-state area basketball talk.